Now, Dyslexia Awareness Week is in full flow with events across Gibraltar highlighting understanding, inclusion and support for those with dyslexia. And joining us now are Sabrina Mauro and Mandy Gaggero to tell us a little bit more about what's happening, about their own experiences of dyslexia, and also how you can get involved this week. So how has Dyslexia Awareness Week gone so far?
So far, so good. The response has been, the flag day has been a great success. They had people down at Safeways, at
Toda la vida, Safeways. Morrison's.
Get them where they see
Lipton's.
Morrison's. and also at the Piazza. And the response was really good. People came up and chatted, and it was all about awareness and supporting.
Good stuff. And what sort of conversations do people who have dyslexia tend to get from people who think that their children might have or that they might have dyslexia?
I think it's first line of asking someone, I think my child has dyslexia. How do I go about finding out, getting the support, finding the right channel to go through and the support they need? Like I myself, my child was diagnosed with dyslexia earlier this year. And I remember it must have been last year's Flag Day down in Morrison's. I actually happened to cross by, saw them out there with a banner. I said, right, let's take a photo. I went back home, spoke to my husband, because we've had for several years before that an incline that my daughter would be dyslexic just because of the struggles that we were having with her with reading and writing in school, even though she was of a young age.
What age was she when you first sort of thought that you might need to check?
We have had an inkling probably she was in preschool into like reception years, and then year one. We went to the schools, we spoke to the teachers saying, we think she's struggling a lot more in comparison to my eldest daughter. Right. And we were seeing some of the strong signs of dyslexic, getting her letters confused, really struggling with her with her spelling and with them reading, when they do a lot of reading when they're in their younger school years, and every day was pretty much a tantrum trying to read with her. So it got to the point with her, let's go to school, see what they think, and they told us first, have her eyes tested, have her ears tested, make sure that it's nothing else that could be inhibiting her learning. And then from that, we just carried on. And then when I saw that dyslexia flag, I decided to get in contact with the association. And they just told me, go and speak to an assessor and potentially have her checked. But the testing is done closer to the age of 8. So we just had to wait a few more months. And then we privately had it done. And it turned out that we were correct. She was dyslexic. So from that moment on, it just helped us to understand.
Well done for spotting it so soon. I'm sure it helped that you had an older sibling and you sort of had that comparator. But from what I understand, getting an early diagnosis and the help that you need as parents in understanding the different methods of learning, that can make a massive difference.
No, it definitely did. I know with the diagnosis, we haven't achieved much, but at least it helps us understand, and it helps her understand that she's not stupid, because it was getting to the point that she would refuse to read. She didn't want to read in a group in class.
Pobre.
And when we told her the diagnosis, we didn't tell her what she was being tested for. But when we did get the results, we told her, look, this is the reason why you are struggling and all these things. It's not because you're stupid. It's just you have a different way of learning. And since then...
Are those the words you used?
Yeah. She was 7 at the time, so you can't really... Dyslexia, she didn't understand what that word meant.
I think a lot of us grown-ups still don't fully understand what it means.
She was just very proud, telling all her friends and teachers, I'm dyslexic. And like that, it just really helped her improve with her self-esteem, I would say.
Good.
And that's all part of this week. Yeah. It's breaking the stigma, allowing people to speak openly about it, to make sure it's not a negative thing, that it actually can be very positive in someone's life. Challenges, yes, but at the end of the day, you can overcome those challenges with help, with support, and that's what Dyslexia Gibraltar are trying to do, just break the stigma and create awareness.
And to what extent do you think, Mandy, that there is still stigma associated with dyslexia?
Well, it's just lack of knowledge. It's not ignorance, but just people aren't aware of it. Yesterday, I attended a talk with Claire, who did dyslexia in the workplace, and she's done 3 days of talks, of workshops, and the reaction was very positive. And anything you do for a dyslexic person, whether it's a child or an adult, it's positive. It helps other people. I mean, one little example I use is telephone numbers. The mobile telephone numbers are 8 digits. If you just put a space in between and break it up into 4, 2 sets of 4, it makes a huge difference to a dyslexic person. And I'm sure you wouldn't be bothered by having a gap.
Easy.
Yeah. And lots of little things like that can help. The right kind of font, the right kind of maybe paper. Sometimes people are more struggle with the white paper background. So little things.
So Mandy, you're dyslexic yourself?
I am.
And
Yes.
when did you find out?
I found out through a common entrance exam. The nun who saw the common entrance exam when I was 9 years old told my parents to have me tested. And before I went to school. And so, yes, not that there was much help or much difference, but like your daughter.
Different time as in...
Yeah, it was 1980s. So
people understood dyslexia less.
It was very, very early days
less.
of diagnosis, of understanding. But at least it gave me, I don't like using the word excuse, but an understanding of why I learned differently and why it took me longer to do things and why I struggled with certain things. But then I was better at other things than other people. I call it common sense, but I see, and I believe dyslexic people tend to see outside the box and think differently. A lot of the pioneers of computer science were dyslexic. And so, yes, you find a lot of innovators are dyslexics.
And famously, Richard Branson, some other household names who...
Keira Knightley.
A lot of actors, but a lot of innovation. Ford, I think, was dyslexic as well.
Right.
All sorts of people. Leonardo da Vinci.
Leonardo da Vinci, that's right. I mean, just it's a your brain's wired differently.
Exactly.
And it gives you different opportunities and different challenges.
It's not better, it's not worse, it's just different. And that's, I think, not only for dyslexia, but creating that awareness for neurodiversity. And just allowing people to openly talk and say, yes, I'm very open about being dyslexic, because people who know me just know that I get my left and rights wrong, and I'm terrible at remembering names and things like that. But so I'm very open about it, and maybe more people need to be more open about it.
Good stuff. Well, for somebody who's just joining us, we're speaking to Mandy Gaggero and Sabrina Mauro. Dyslexia Awareness Week is the reason why we're all more or less wearing red. And Sabrina, is it too soon, or have you already sort of seen the other side of your daughter's dyslexia? Sort of like a creativity or a flair for learning in a different way.
Well, I think she learns very visually and slowly, not too many things at one time. Like even with the spellings, we have to take 1 or 2 words every couple of days. Otherwise, it just gets too much for her, and then she just shuts down and there's no getting through to her. But I think slowly we are getting to where she needs to be, giving her the right tools and just learning with her, as opposed to just being maybe annoyed, thinking, oh, you know this, why don't you know this? So it just helps us have more patience with her.
Okay, and I think that there's an event this evening. Can you tell us a little bit about it for teachers?
Yes. Tonight at 4:30 down at the Royal Gibraltar Regiment Club down by Irish Town. And it's a networking event for teachers, for educators, for Senkos, for LSAs. And it's an opportunity to share ideas, to share best practices. And also it's an opportunity for the dyslexia support group to hear what's happening on the ground, to hear from the people that are dealing in the classrooms in this case, and understand and how best they can support and how best they can lobby government if necessary. And it's just a really good opportunity opportunity to get together, have a drink, have a little bit of a daba, and just have a chat.
Sounds like a great
yes, please
event.
Come along. Even if you haven't told us you're coming, please feel free to come along. So
this afternoon at 4:30.
4:30 at the Royal Gibraltar Regiment Club down in Irish Town.
Irish Town, lovely club.
Next to the old police station.
Yeah. It's really nicely done up, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very good.
Okay, and then there's on Saturday you've got a coffee morning. Who is that for?
Yes, this year the association decided to have a coffee morning outside of the working hours to hopefully enable parents or caregivers with children to come along and have a chat with members of the association if they have any concerns about their children being dyslexic, or if they already are dyslexic, just to have a chat, feel that you are not alone. There is a community within Gibraltar that you can come over for advice. It's an opportunity for children like my daughter to see that there are other children the same as her, and just come and have a chat. The idea is we're going to be down at the King's Diner. You can come, have your breakfast with your family as you might normally do on a Saturday morning.
Nice. At the leisure centre?
At the leisure centre, yeah. And then you can pop over to the Dyslexia Association table and have a chat if you fancy it.
Excellent. And before we let you go, a bookmark competition as well.
Yes, very much. Yeah. We're encouraging
ideally school children, but it is open for any ages to create a bookmark. And there will be prizes for the winners. And this year, it's Stronger Together. It's the title for it.
So they should do a little design, a drawing with the theme Stronger Together.
Yes. So it's how to incorporate dyslexia and how, like we're trying to say, we're all stronger together if we come out and there's no taboo about it, how we can all help each other out. And that competition is open until the 10th of October, so that's tomorrow.
Okay, we'll get your drawing pencils out. Thank you so much, Mandy Gaggero and Sabrina Mauro, for talking so openly about dyslexia. And
thank you for having us.
Sounds like the Awareness Week is going really well.
Stuart has done a great job.
Stuart's a great guy. He's passionate and energetic, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He drives it all.
Good stuff. Okay, speak to you again soon.
Perfect.
Thank you.